Cisco DNA Center workflows are outlined as something that you need to be able to describe in this exam blueprint and understand how those work. So that's what we're going to take a look at in this video. Let's take a look first at how we can configure devices, where that's found in the DNA Center management dashboard. If we go to the main provision tab at the very top here, we can see a list of our network inventory. It's going to have a list of all of our devices. Now, I will point out that at the time of this recording, Cisco has removed the read-write access from this sandbox, which was previously in place. So this is only read access, and there are a few options missing. In this view, for example, there are no checkboxes here on the left beside of each of these devices. It's where you would normally see those. Now, nevertheless, we do see an inventory of 4 devices here. If we look at the credential status, over here on the right, we can see that this is listed as not provisioned. In a normal non-sandbox view, we would be able to select a check mark over here on the left, and then we would be able to provision that device. Once we choose that check mark, we could choose this actions button that we see here, and that would allow us to select provision. And there are also several other options available here. We can see we're able to assign this device to a site. We can, of course, provision the device. We can update the OS image and so on. When we choose the provision devices option, we're brought to a new window with 3 remaining workflow steps. First, we need to make sure that the device is assigned to a site. If it is, the site will already be populated here. And if not, we'll need to add this to our created site in order to provision the device. Remember, we created a site from the design section that we examined in the previous video. If you've selected multiple devices, you can check the Apply to All button to take care of everything at once. And next, we're shown the configuration page, which outlines which devices we want to provision. In this example, you can see 2 devices in the list. We can advance and see a summary page detailing the device and network settings that will be applied to each device. You can click each individual device on the left to see their individual configurations that are going to be pushed out. Click the Deploy button at the bottom, and Cisco DNA Center will begin the deployment process, and you'll receive success messages letting you know each time a device provisioning is complete. So it's super easy. Think about the normal workflow that you might go through right now when you're configuring a new router. Gaining SSH access, logging in with enable passwords, check the current configuration, make changes, save those changes, and you would repeat that for each device. So you can see that DNA Center workflows are much easier in this case, and that's going to be true across the board with just about everything that we do in Cisco DNA Center. We can do the same thing for assurance purposes, for monitoring and troubleshooting our network. Let's go under the Assurance tab at the top, and if we view the network health in the network devices section, if we scroll down, we'll click that and let that load. If we scroll down, we can see a list of our devices down here at the bottom, and we have a filter option, so we're able to filter those by device type or by IP address, OS version, all kinds of things. If we click on one of these devices, it's going to bring us to what's called a Device 360 window. Again, notice the health ratings that we pointed out earlier. This particular router is listed as 10 out of 10 in health. And from here, we'll be able to see a historical view of the device as well. We can see any issues found if there were any, and we can even look through resolved issues that have already been corrected. We can see a physical neighbor topology, and at the bottom, we have the ability to monitor CPU and memory usage. If we click the Connectivity tab, we can see transmit and receive utilization statistics that will help us troubleshoot connectivity issues. So there's so much helpful information here found in one place. If we scroll up a bit, you may have noticed we passed up the Run New Path Trace button. And this is a fantastic tool. This is essentially a visual traceroute and ping tool. It'll give you a topological view of the output, which is really great. This can be configured to run continuously or at set intervals if you're experiencing ongoing issues that you'd like to monitor. This particular trace example on screen you can see has all green status indicators by each device, and that means that the traffic made a successful round trip. However, any issues found would be indicated by a red circle on a particular device. You would be able to hover over that, and then you would be able to see more details about what DNA Center has discovered as the issue. As an example here, you can see that this issue is with an ACL. If you hover over that, you would be able to see the ACL name, the direction that it's applied, the interface, and whether that was a permit or deny. So great troubleshooting features found here within DNA Center. So that's a look at some of the main workflows inside of Cisco's DNA Center.